Uh, Change of plans. I was actually on the way to the Swedish church for pea soup and pancakes, and then I was at the gym, and then I realized something. But before we start that, so this is the format, lunch break with practice radio. If you don't have, I have a salad here, some hard bread with Philadelphia and caviar cream underneath, a cold tea from this breakfast, and this. So I've taken up gym again after kind of a bigger break and having more home-based training. So it's unbelievable. So, okay, I have 12 years of fitness experience. And before that, 30 years of a different sports education. I'm in none of the sports on any level to particular, but nevertheless, I can do most of the sports if it's not having something to do with flying in the air. So, well, it needs too much more. So I have a certain advantage to have access through a kind of growing up with football, table tennis, learning tennis, and from these kind of like more technical based sports form, you of course also learn how to approach new sports. So no surprise, I was pretty close to, or the closest I could get to any Bundesliga by learning mini golf in an extensive learning period from 2015 to 2000 and probably 17. So, and then you could, yeah, and then there are people who don't, through the parents and through the circumstances. So then sport is something they have no idea of. Whenever I meet my students in a group, it normally starts with warm up, and then you have a warm up. It's 5 minutes, and I think everybody who meets online or on live, they should have actually 5 minutes warm up, because most of the people, they just move their chair from one position to the other, or they're just sitting in front of the whole day on a computer. So getting up your cardio for 5 minutes, actually reminding yourself that there is something attached to these 1.4 pounds of brain, I think is reasonable, and has also been shown in laboratory experiments that it improves the learning, the memory, the social. Yeah, this why we don't do that, don't ask me. But many things are wrong. That could be the easiest thing, to actually start every school class from, no, the cat is screaming, every school class with 5 minutes warm up and a 5 minutes cool down, and we would live in a much more intelligent world, I promise you. So, but when I was then there on my gym, on the running or the elliptical, and I just saw people, and this now sounds judgmental, but with my also these different areas. So you have the people on the machines, they come out of nothing and they jump on the machine, and the first thing they do, they run up a mountain like that. So there is obviously no basic understanding how you actually prepare, warm up. But then you see also people that look strong. When you look at their technique, how they do their weights, they swing the weights around as, I don't know, it would be Luftballons. And the first thing is with that, the first thing is actually always form and technique. And then you could put weight on. But these people, that they're still alive is actually surprising to me. And then I thought, oh, is this maybe just like art school. And of course, my favorite saying is definitely not thinking is comparison. It's the opposite. Comparing things just with each other is actually avoiding and start thinking. So, but there are, I think, interesting things, because with a kind of a fundamental or basic tutorial introduction, you would actually, and that happens, for example, my favorite fitness program, Fitness Blender, with a kind of basic learning, basic tutoring, you can actually get the people to understand, learn certain techniques, but also get to the point that you then, with a certain sensitivity to certain issues now in this kind of like in a gym, that you, with that sensitivity, become actually develop a critical self, how to approach also stuff you haven't tried before. And I think that seems also fundamental for an art education, I guess for most of the educations too. But let's not talk about that today. I think if medical education would go that way, we would have also different doctors. You would have doctors you could actually talk to. So tutoring means, and now this is the English term, but just being on the side, supporting somebody's career or walkway through the education, gives them an understanding and a support structure. What are the relevant parameters of whatever field they're operating in are? And that is actually fundamentally something different than providing content. Yeah, that is the big thing in art schools. Content. Content is not the problem. Content, in particular in the arts, can be everything. Yeah, but that you then put content as the dominating kind of like power and authority, but also as the parameter of controlling and judging and assessing people on, that seems so bizarre. So tutoring means supporting and protecting the student's walk of education. In the gym, in the school, in the art school, everywhere. Now I wish you a gute Appetit. Ja? Tschüssikowski.